Hey guys, it's Matt from IGN Wii, and I'm here with a review of Wii Sports, one of the first titles for Nintendo's new system. Actually, it is the first title. It's packed in as a freebie. So you're getting this game whether you like it or not, and we're going to review it for you today anyway. Wii Sports is actually a compilation of 5 games, and in this package you've got boxing, bowling, golf, tennis, and baseball. Now, we just showed you a quick snippet of each game, and what you're seeing right off the bat here is that the graphics are actually very simple. I'd like to call them primitive, in fact, and if you're going to compare these to some of the visuals in today's next-generation games, well, they're just not going to compete, as you're seeing. And this is actually intentional, believe it or not. This, what you're going to find is, technically speaking, the game is actually pretty well done. It's running at 60 frames per second, it runs in Pro Scan, and it also supports 16:9 widescreen. Up close, actually, the textures do hold up. The problem, though, is that the style is so primitive, and intentionally so, that it's almost laughable when you first see it, especially if you're going to stack it up to, say, Gears of War. It's just not going to compare. That said, the game does have its own charm, and this is made largely possible through the use of the Mii characters. What you do here is you create your own virtual self, and you can import it into the game. And it's actually pretty cool. You can see I've created myself here, and this is actually looks really like me. And here's little Bozon. What this adds is a lot of color into what is otherwise, I'd say, a fairly generic presentation. You see yourself on screen, you can't help but giggle. So the big question is, what makes this game so unique? And the answer is actually the control. You use the Wii remote to control all of these things. You're not really pressing buttons so much, you're actually using gestures. So in a game like baseball, you'd swing the Wii remote, and that would simulate a baseball bat. Meanwhile, in a game like bowling, you'd gesture a rolling motion, and that would simulate throwing a ball down the lane. So, does this all work? Actually, it kind of does and it kind of doesn't. That's the real reality to this new control scheme. Some of these games are better than others, and for instance, a game like bowling, I can tell you right off the bat, I absolutely love it. I could almost recommend Wii Sports for bowling alone. It's that good, really. Bowling feels like it should. You got that controller in your hand, you roll the ball down the court, you can add spin, you can add power, and it feels very accurate, and as a result, the game's very satisfying. I think baseball and tennis actually replicate that feeling of accuracy, and as a result, they're both fun to play. Maybe not so much as bowling, but I actually really like tennis. It grows on you. And baseball, is very simple, but it's still fun. On the other hand, we've experimented a lot with golf, and we're really trying to find out what the appeal is. It seems like it would be the perfect game for the controller, but you try to play it, and it just doesn't work very well. The problem here is that you have to swing the remote to simulate your golf swing. But you can never tell how hard you're going to hit it on the fly. You have to sort of hope that you're going to hit it at the right speed and with the right power, and rarely does it ever work out that way. Meanwhile, boxing, I've been playing this game a lot, and I've been trying to find the appeal of boxing. They put it in the package, they really want you to like it. Everyone who plays it, not just me, everyone who's played it at the office, nobody likes it. I think the problem with boxing actually is that you just don't get that physical contact. And not only that, but using both the Wii remote and the nunchuck, it just doesn't feel like you're actually doing the moves that you're trying to do. What you do with your hands is not really represented on screen. What you may not know, actually, is that Wii Sports has a little bit more depth than you probably think, because there's actually a training mode, and what this is a series of sort of added mini-games that extend the replay value of each of the included sports. So, for instance, bowling, which I keep coming back to because I really like it. It has 3 modes. In one of these modes, you simply roll the ball down the lane and try to hit formations of different pins. So in one lane, you might have 1 pin, and another you might have 3 set up in an entirely different formation. And the object is to figure out how to knock them all down. In another one, the pins keep increasing in number the farther you go along. So you might start out knocking down 10, and by the time you're done, you'll have 150 to knock down. This is really impressive, actually, because the physics are really well done. And finally, my favorite is this obstacle mode, where basically they drop obstacles down in front of your lane and you have to figure out ways around them. So, for instance, you might need to add spin to the ball just so you can direct your angle and work around an obstacle to hit some pins beyond it. It's a lot of fun. I think what you're going to find with Wii Sports is that this is one of those games you can pick up and play and really have a great time for about an hour. But you go beyond that and I think you're really going to start to get bored. I think Wii Sports is a success in that it is going to probably capture the non-gamer, so you will get people who've never played games before really liking this, simply because it's not very daunting. You can pick up the controller, you can jump right into it, you can have a good time. On the other hand, if you're looking for a really deep experience, I think you're going to be disappointed because the game is somewhat shallow. After an hour of play, you might get bored, so really I think the trick here is to have some friends over, grab some beers, and have a good time.